Tonight, new accusations against a high-risk offender. A Kitchener man with a violent past faces a judge once again over his conditions. Good evening. A Kitchener man described as a high-risk offender is once again facing allegations that he breached conditions of his release. At a court appearance last week, Kevin Koehler told the judge to, quote, either sentence me now or shoot me, one or the other. CTV's Krista Simpson brings us details.
This was the photo Waterloo Regional Police released in February when Kevin Koehler was released after completing a sentence for breaching court orders. Police describing him as a high-risk offender who they believed was a significant risk to public safety. In 1985, Koehler was behind the wheel of a vehicle involved in a high-speed chase near Walkerton that ended in a fiery crash, killing 2 teen girls and an OPP officer. Koehler served 3 years for criminal negligence causing death. In 2015, Koehler pleaded guilty to manslaughter in the death of his roommate, Marianne May. He has now served his 12-year sentence, but remains bound by a judicial supervision order. He's already admitted to breaching it once, mere hours after it was put in place, caught buying fortified wine at a Kitchener LCBO in the fall. Now it's alleged that sometime after he completed his sentence for that breach and was released in February, he's breached the terms again by possessing or consuming alcohol and not reporting a romantic relationship. During a court appearance Friday, Koehler said he did not want a lawyer and was ready to plead guilty to the 2 counts, while arguing he didn't think it was fair he's still bound by rules after completing his sentence. I'm such a bad boy. I had a drink, he said, appearing remotely from Maplehurst Correctional Facility in Milton. Later telling the judge, I'm 61 years old. I can't have a drink and I can't have a relationship without telling somebody about it. I think that's like a bunch of crap. The judge repeatedly urged Koehler to get a lawyer, saying it's clear Koehler is frustrated, suggesting you're not in a good space right now to be dealing with this. I had a drink and I had a friend. Might as well give me life, was Koehler's response. The judge said she had concerns about accepting a guilty plea under these circumstances. Koehler told her, I just want to do my time, go, leave the province, be out of here, and never see this place again. Repeating over and over he did not want a lawyer in spite of having a legal aid certificate. Court also heard there are lawyers willing to take on his case. Ultimately, the judge declined to take his plea, asking Koehler to return in 2 weeks. Either sentence me now or shoot me, one or the other, Koehler said before the case was adjourned. He's due back in court on June 19th. Krista Simpson, CTV News, Kitchener.
We're continuing to watch a developing story tonight, the death of an Orangeville-based OPP officer who was on a deployment in Northern Ontario. The OPP commissioner says Constable Tarun Bali was killed in Hearst. That's a remote community about 500 kilometers northeast of Thunder Bay. OPP say officers were conducting an investigation in the community and Bali was seriously injured and died. 1 person was taken into custody. No charges have been announced and police have not provided details on how Bali was killed. Bali was a member of the Dufferin County detachment of the OPP with 2.5 years of service and was on a deployment with the James Bay OPP detachment. A new report is painting a revealing picture of a winter that was widely considered one of our harshest. The city of Waterloo says its road crews were pushed to the breaking point, not only by the amount of snow that fell, but also by people who chose abusive ways to display their frustration. CTV's Heather Centerin reports.
It was a winter for the history books. A constant barrage of snow that started early and wouldn't budge.
November, we started seeing snow that stuck around right through till April.
210 centimeters fell in the city of Waterloo, an amount not seen in the past 50 years, creating the perfect storm of operational challenges and blizzard burnout felt by staff who had to clean it all up.
Continuous hours of work, day after day after day. It's a challenging job for sure, and it's not always a 7 to 3 job. It is around the clock.
A report presented to Waterloo City Council Monday pointed to a pileup of snow clearing complaints, 799 orders, 209 cleanups, and 353 fines. The city's Director of Transportation Services admits crews faced a lot of aggressive behavior by upset residents.
We typically saw people either yelling at drivers or throwing shovels at the trucks, but it seems to be escalating to the point where people are trying to enter the vehicles and get to the drivers and attack them. So yeah, we've been looking at mitigating measures to deter that kind of behavior through potentially the use of forward-facing camera technology.
The severe weather also gouged a $700,000 deficit into the winter control budget for 2025, meaning they had to dip into the city's winter control reserve.
I will say our budgets are based on calendar year. So come January 1st, 2026, we did start a new budget. So we are not over budget at this point.
The city is looking at ways to improve how it handles snow, including adding specialized blades on plows.
Belly blades are a bottom-mounted blade underneath the truck that can help create some down pressure to scrape snow and ice that's bonded to the road.
But where does all the white stuff go? The city says they're running out of room for it, as they learned last winter.
We ended up just stockpiling the snow higher and higher. We had points of our snow dump that were up to 14 meters high.
The city is planning an expansion of its snow storage facility with $1.9 million budgeted for it over the next few years. But who knows what the next winter will have in store.
We can always hope the next winter is going to be a little bit lighter.
Heather Centerin, CTV News, Waterloo.
A major figure in Waterloo Region's healthcare system is preparing to move on. The president and CEO of the Waterloo Region Health Network, Ron Gagnon, announced today that he will retire next spring. Gagnon was hired by Grand River Hospital, now known as Wren at Midtown, back in 2018. Overseeing the hospital through one of its most significant chapters, a major merger ahead of the construction of a new mega hospital and the COVID pandemic. What he says will stand out to him most, navigating the uncertainty and the emergencies during the pandemic.
Chief among them is how we came together to respond to COVID, right? I think as the years go by, those memories fade, but it's something that will stick with me from just an amazing way that this community came together for each other and to protect each other. A thank you to the community. I've been welcomed. I felt part of this community. I felt the support of this community, both on an individual level and on a professional level. There's still more to be done, and I'm still here for another 9 months or so, and I plan on continuing the great work that our team has been doing.
Wren plans to work with a headhunting firm to begin a search for a new president and CEO, hoping to find Gagnon's replacement by the time he officially retires next March. In Guelph tonight, a call for the province to get involved in the debate over a piece of land that residents are pleading to protect from development. A committee of City Council heard hours of public input today on an 8-hectare parcel of Conservation Authority land along Niska Road, which sits beside a neighborhood and is currently zoned residential. Councillors were considering whether to rezone it parkland, but didn't feel it was worth the chance that it could end up in a zoning battle at the Ontario Land Tribunal. Instead, they will ask the province to meet with community advocates and explore a provincial rezoning of this land.
If this was appealed to the OLT, it would be not part of their consideration. They would be looking at planning rationale. If anybody's been following the OLT lately, there's a significant risk that we would lose that completely.
I wanted to acknowledge everyone who's delegated tonight. I don't think any of us take your comments lightly. I think we understand the desire of the community.
The land sits right next to a larger piece of Conservation Authority land, which the city already has a tentative deal to take possession of, and which used to encompass the old Courtright Waterfowl Park. For the first time this year, we are getting warnings about heat. A much more humid air mass settling in over Waterloo Region tonight, with temperatures that felt in the mid-30s earlier this evening. Environment Canada has already issued a heat warning for the Windsor-Essex, Chatham-Kent and Sarnia-Lambton areas, where the humidity tomorrow could make it feel like it's in the 40s. And it's expected to be a scorcher here in Waterloo Region as well, though not quite meeting the threshold of a warning just yet. We'll have updated weather details coming up throughout the show. Ontario Hockey League history is being made in Brantford. The Bulldogs making the first ever choice for a female player in the league's under-18 priority selection draft. Sophie Jovanovic spoke with us earlier today about the significance of this moment in her hockey career. CTV's Colton Weens has her story.
Yesterday was just such a dream come true, and I'm just so grateful for everyone who's helped me along the way. And yeah, I couldn't be more grateful and thankful for everyone.
Sophie Jovanovic making history Monday night. The Brantford Bulldogs picked the 17-year-old in the second round, 40th overall, in the Ontario Hockey League's under-18 priority selection draft.
I got a call from Laura Fortino, so she's the assistant coach of the Brantford Bulldogs, and she was the one who let me know I was going to be picked, and it was such an honor to have shared that moment with her.
The 6-foot, 161-pound netminder is the first female selected in the OHL's U18 draft. Taya Curry was selected by the Sarnia Sting in the 5th round of the 2021 OHL priority selection, but never appeared in a game.
We'll see what happens. I'm going to be taking it day by day, and I'm just not going to take any opportunity for granted, and we'll see what happens.
Jovanovic played AAA boys hockey with the Toronto Marlboros throughout her minor career and with the Toronto Nationals U18 AAA program this past season.
Our U18 scout was really, really high on her, and she's got a over 900 save percentage. She's done well, and she plays for a real good coach who we've had success in the past drafting from, and her numbers are stellar.
Ever since I put the pads on, it's like I knew this is what I want to be. I want to be a goalie. I don't even know what, I just fell in love with it.
If Jovanovic hits the ice next season, she will be the first female player to appear in an OHL game. She'll head to Bulldogs orientation camp next week.
She'll attend camp and have the same shot everyone else we draft and in our system has. We have spots available, so she's got a shot for sure.
Jovanovic is also committed to the University of Wisconsin, the reigning back-to-back NCAA Division I national champions.
She'll have an opportunity to make our team, and when she's ready to leave for college, she'll go and she'll be successful there as well.
It's so exciting to know that, your hockey career doesn't have to be over because you're done school, and you can continue to play.
Colton Weens, CTV News.
Could Waterloo Region's search for more water leave some new home buyers high and dry when it comes to a tax credit?
It hasn't fully been understood or contemplated all the different ways that this will impact us.
CTV's Spencer Turcotte will look into how the region's development freeze over the potential for a future water problem could spell out bad timing for those looking to get a new build. Here's a look at a heat warning that's been issued starting tomorrow morning, covering Sarnia-Lambton, Chatham-Kent, Windsor-Essex, where it could feel like between 36 and 40 degrees tomorrow and into Thursday. Our satellite radar shows that the heat is not all we have to deal with. A lot of rain moving across southwestern Ontario tonight. In fact, some downpours passing just to the north of Waterloo Region a few moments ago, and we can expect to see more of that through the night. Current temperatures tell us another part of this story. It's very, very warm for this hour, ranging from 20 to 24 degrees, but factoring in the humidity right now, it still feels like 34 in Windsor right now, 33 in Sarnia. And no gorgeous sunset tonight, just some hazy humidity and the threat of more rain. Alexandra's got our forecast coming up a little bit later, and I'll be back with more news in 2 minutes.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVKitchener.ca, your home for news.
Waterloo Region's development freeze, as it looks for ways to find more water for the future, is raising questions about how many people might miss out on a federal tax rebate for new builds. CTV's Spencer Turcotte reports.
Thousands of proposed homes are stuck in limbo across Waterloo Region. A shortage of water servicing capacity has forced municipalities to hit pause on new developments, and developers say the impact is stretching beyond supply.
The enhanced HST rebate program will come to an end on March 31st, 2027. So we have less than 10 months remaining to provide current and future members of our region with the ability to take advantage of this rare and limited time opportunity.
New rebate can save buyers up to $130,000 on a new home. To qualify, a purchase agreement must be signed before the end of March 2027.
And then the unit needs to be built, I think, by the end of 29, if not 31, depending upon the type of unit.
We have many pushes from the Fed's province to get housing starts, HSP being one that helps specifically in home ownership, but developers simply can't pull permits right now to build that product.
Realtors say that rebate has already generated interest from buyers looking at new homes, but that interest may not translate into sales.
Of course, if builders can't build, we can't get them in the doors for that.
Industry leaders fear this pause on development, paired with the inability to benefit from the rebate for new home buyers, means fewer people could choose to put down roots in the region.
It hasn't fully been understood or contemplated all the different ways that this will impact us.
So for potential buyers, the question is no longer just about being able to afford a new home. It's whether one can be built before the clock runs out on this rebate. Spencer Turcotte, CTV News Kitchener.
Demolition is underway at a former Waterloo church, clearing the way for a new affordable housing project. The city bought the former St. Columba Anglican Church at 250 Lincoln Road for more than $2 million last April, and council unanimously approved the demolition in January. The teardown is expected to take about 2 weeks. Then work will shift to restoration on the site with the goal of eventually building new affordable housing units. The city will seek input on the property's development through a community meeting later this month. And later tonight on CTV News, leveling up Ontario's campground spaces. The expansion plan that the government is pouring tens of millions of dollars into.
Rain from this afternoon is set to continue into the overnight hours, but just how much we'll get tomorrow and when we'll see some reprieve, I'll have those details coming up in the full forecast later. Stay with us. CTV News continues in 2 minutes.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
We have a hazy look at Highway 8 over the Grand River in Kitchener earlier tonight. You can almost see that humidity just taking hold. Things really got a lot more humid this afternoon and into this evening. In fact, we're still dealing with humidex values in the low 30s at this hour in some parts of southern Ontario. Now, we just had a bit of a downpour passing over our studios in Kitchener's Deer Ridge area, and we can expect more rain, more humidity, maybe even thunderstorms this week. Here's Alexandra Hollick with the forecast.
I hope you had a wonderful day. It was a little bit of a weird day with the weather, from rain, heat, some thunderstorm warnings, a whole mixed bag today. And if you are in the Windsor and Sarnia area, you may want to keep that umbrella handy and maybe some water too. Environment Canada has put out a yellow heat warning for that area. Coming in Wednesday into Thursday, humidex values could reach 40 and it'll be a daytime high of over 30. So definitely want to keep that water handy. Looking into our futurecast, what we have going on from today into tomorrow, we had some showers pass through over the day today with some pockets of sun and cloud. But if you saw that sun, I hope you know that it may have been playing tricks on you, because the rain keeps on coming. By 2 a.m. Wednesday, we'll still see some showers, and by tomorrow evening, we will see definitely just that rain fully coming through 1 p.m. Thursday. By Thursday afternoon, London might be seeing a storm system there. So good to have that umbrella handy as we continue through on the week. Overnight tonight will drop down to an expected low of 18 degrees. That risk of thunderstorms is still going to be sticking around, and we can expect to see between 10 and 20 millimeters of rainfall and some westerly winds coming in at 20 kilometers an hour. Into tomorrow, high of 27 degrees. That risk of thunderstorms still sticking around, and with the high temperature, humidex 35, so definitely feeling a little bit more like summer than spring and what we're used to this time of year. Those winds again coming in from the west at 20 kilometers an hour. Into our almanac today, again, very warm, much warmer than we're used to. Again, feeling more like summer than spring. Normally we're at about 23 degrees, but with this time of year, we're also seeing a lot more daylight, sun setting after 9 o'clock. So definitely getting closer to that summer solstice. Into our 7-day forecast here, starting with that thunderstorm risk on Wednesday, high of 27 degrees. And those showers continue for much of the week. But if you're not loving this heat and that humidex, don't worry, early next week we could see a little bit of a cool down, so great for people who love to sleep with the windows open and not in that sticky heat. For Lambton, Kent, Essex, much of the same, but early 30s, the low 30s for the first couple of days in the rest of this week. And as we get into the weekend, sun and cloud on Saturday, high of 29. Again, a little bit cooler in the low 20s for early next week. And rounding it out in southern Georgian Bay, we're seeing a risk of thunderstorms again on Wednesday, with temperatures jumping up on Thursday closer to 28 degrees. But as we get through the weekend and into next week, the rain trickles out, but those temperatures going to be in the high teens. So you definitely want to keep an umbrella handy as we head through this week and into next week, and maybe some water too if you're in those hot spots. Tony.
Alexandra, thank you. Yeah, just a little bit of everything this week, and I can tell you that right now, outside of our studios, it's 21 degrees, but the humidity is making it feel like the mid to upper 20s right now. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
99.5 has the music you just can't quit. Home of Bounce Mornings with Angie Hill and Sarge. KW's Bounce 99.5. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app.
Finally for us, the Ontario government's investing tens of millions of dollars in provincial parks, expanding campsites in the years ahead. CTV's Scott Miller has more tonight on the growing demand for outdoor spaces.
Nearly 14 million visitors stayed in an Ontario provincial park last year, the most campers ever.
Many parks reach capacity during peak seasons, which is wonderful in one sense, but it means there are families who want to spend a weekend under the stars and they can't always find a site. That is why today I'm happy to announce that we are beginning the first phase of our $60 million multi-year investment to deliver the largest campground expansion Ontario has seen in more than half a century.
285 campsites have already been upgraded to electrical sites at Sandbanks, Arrowhead, and Turkey Point provincial parks. 67 new sites will be ready for campers this summer, including 17 new ones at McGregor Point Provincial Park near Port Elgin, which was the backdrop for today's provincial announcement.
These new campsites represent the first wave in our plan to create approximately 300 new campsites and electrify up to 800 more, a total of 1,000 new and upgraded sites.
The province is trying to capitalize on, one of the positive outcomes from COVID, where more people showed a renewed interest in exploring the great outdoors.
Because as we all know, demand for outdoor recreation continues to grow, and families are eager to spend time connecting with nature. These new sites will help more people enjoy that experience while also supporting longer stays and repeat visits.
Campers spend money too, taking day trips to the towns and villages located near their temporary homes in the woods.
When visitors come to McGregor Point, they just don't stay in the park. They visit our local shops, they buy groceries, they dine at our incredible restaurants, and they support our businesses right across the region and throughout Ontario.
Reservations for the 67 new Ontario campsites open June 15th.
It's time to start planning your next visit to Ontario Parks.
Near Port Elgin, Scott Miller, CTV News.
And that's going to do it for us on this Tuesday, June the 9th. Thanks for checking in with us. Our digital team has news anytime over at ctvnewskitchener.ca. I'll see you back here once again tomorrow night for CTV News at 6. Have a good night.